How many times are people in this country going to elect Republicans before they realize that Republicans are horrendous for the economy?
Breaking just moments ago, new data showing January was the worst month for job cuts since the 2009 Great Recession. CNN senior reporter Matt Egan is joining me now. What else is this report telling you?
Yeah, Sarah, look, this is a bad way to start 2026, right? Layoffs way up, hiring way down. So Challenger Gray and Christmas reports that during the month of January, U.S.-based employers announced just over 108,000 layoffs. Now, that is roughly double January of 2025 and roughly triple the end of last year. In fact, Sarah, as you mentioned, this is the highest since January 2009 during the great financial crisis. Of course, that was just months after the collapse of Lehman Brothers. Now, as far as where the layoffs are, it's really largely in two sectors, transportation and technology, really leading the way. In fact, two companies, UPS and Amazon, account for roughly 40% of the announced layoffs. Also, healthcare, chemicals, and finance as well. Now, as far as why companies are laying off during the month of January, the leading reason was a loss of contract, market and economic conditions, restructuring as well. Artificial intelligence, as you may have guessed, also playing a role as well. So you put all this together, and again, it really paints a concerning picture about the job market. Now, one thing I do want to note, though, is that we're talking about announced layoffs. Economists put more weight on actual applications for unemployment. And first-time jobless claims, they do remain pretty low, and the unemployment rate, it did stabilize at the end of last year. So we've got to pay close attention to what happens next on that, and hopefully we get some more clarity from the official government jobs report, which is expected out next week, delayed because of the government shutdown. One other thing to point out, though, here, Sarah, is this was also a bad month for hiring. Challenger says that just about 5,300 announced hiring plans by companies. That was down 13% year over year. In fact, this was the lowest since Challenger started tracking this back in 2009. And remember, Sarah, all of this comes after last year, which was the weakest for the U.S. job market for job growth outside of a recession since 2003 under George W. Bush. And this report at least suggests that there was no big rebound during the month of January.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. I mean, that's the best way to look at it. It's not good if you are in the market for a job or you've just lost your job.
Yeah.
It's
or
rough
all those
going
kids who
out
just
there.
got out of college.
Exactly.
Nobody's hiring. People are laying off. We're back into the economic toilet. This has been going on my entire life. My entire life. We had bad economic times in the mid to late 1970s, and that helped propel Ronald Reagan into office, who made things considerably worse. He came in, cut taxes more than any president in American history, caused our debt and deficit to blow up, and inflation to skyrocket. And it wasn't until Clinton came in and worked with the Republican Congress and we balanced the budget and got back on our feet economically. Then George W. Bush came in, cut taxes again, started two wars, and we went right into the toilet again, followed by the economic collapse, which wasn't entirely his fault. And then we stabilized with Obama. We brought ourselves out of with Obama and entered Donald Trump, who got his 2017 Trump tax cuts and tanked the economy again, then ignored a global recession, watched it all go right off the cliff. In comes Joe Biden, stabilizes again, and now we're right back into the fucking soup. Literally my entire life, Republicans have been fucking us in the ass when it comes to the economy, and people keep voting for him. And the weird part about it is, it's the working class that keeps voting for him. You're the people that are getting fucked, man. Why do you keep voting for these people? Because they don't like gay people? Because they don't like brown people? Because of a shared hatred? You're willing to fuck yourself in the pocketbook? Because you want to get rid of a brown person and stop a gay person from getting married? Really?